Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to COMM882 Seminar 2. I am Dr. Wada, and this evening we're going to round up the last part of the course module. That is Module 4, uh, Communication of your research findings. So far, you have learned how to formulate research question, how to review literature, how to design your study, different techniques of sampling collection, data collection, and analysis. So now it's time to learn how to effectively share your research findings with the academic community and beyond. So this module is going to equip you with different skills to present your research finding clearly and concisely. So now let's look at some of the learning objectives. So by the end of this module, you will be able to achieve several key objectives. First, you will be able to apply scientific writing principles to effectively communicate your research findings. Second, you will learn how to structure your research papers using the IMRAD format, which is the acronym for Introduction, Method, Result, and Discussion for scientific paper. Then third, you will learn how to create clear and informative visual elements such as table, figures, uh, charts, plates to represent your research data. Fourth, you will learn how to effectively deliver oral presentation of your research findings to the diverse audience. And finally, you'll be able to gain more insights on how to navigate the academic publishing processes from submission to publication of your research paper. So let's dive proper into the key principle of scientific research writing. So unlike other forms of writing, scientific or academic writing is distinct and usually it's a specialized form of communication that requires four fundamental principles that will help you effectively communicate your research findings. First, it demands clarity and precision, ensuring that your message is unambiguous and easily understood. You are required here to use clear, concise language and precise terminology. Avoid ambiguity, jargon, and overly complex sentences. You define specialized terms when first used, and you ensure that every word should serve a purpose. Secondly, uh, is logical organization. Here, you're expected to structure your writing with a clear flow of ideas. Each paragraph should focus on a single concept with smooth transition between sections. You follow established formats like the IMRAD, that is the introduction, the materials and methods, the results, then discussion. Your argument must follow coherently from one point to the next, guiding the reader through your research journey. Then third, objectivity, which is paramount. That is, you present your information impartially without bias, focusing on evidence rather than opinion. Then acknowledge limitations and alternative interpretation for your findings. You let the data speak for itself. Then finally, we have proper citation, which is very essential for acknowledging sources, avoiding plagiarism, and allowing readers to verify your information. You adhere to these principles to ensure that your research is credible and impactful. So the bar chart on the other side shows the importance of these four fundamental principles. We can see clarity and precision, organization, objectivity, and citations are very, very key for a valid and objective scientific writing. Additionally, some of the little writing tips that you need to put into consideration is that you are encouraged to always present your findings using active voice when possible for clarity and directness. And this is often very important because we know active voice is often clear and more direct, making it easier for researchers to understand the information being presented. Then you should also put into consideration uh, the nature of your reporting. It should always be in the third person uh, pronoun. Avoid using first person pronoun like I found that, or second person pronoun like we found out, we conducted, we found out. All these should be avoided. Rather, you should use the third person pronoun. For instance, you could report that the study reported that, the study found that, the researcher reported that, Wada et al. Reported that. Then, importantly, you should always proofread, revise, and edit your manuscript thoroughly. Check for grammar, spelling errors, and clarity of and flow of your ideas. There's also need to seek peer review and feedback before you finally submit your manuscript. And all this are just to ensure that your manuscript is of high quality, valid, and objective during the submission process. So now we look into the IMRAD format proper of scientific reporting. So the IMRAD format or structure or framework is a standard format for organizing scientific research papers where each letter in the acronym stands for a specific section, that is introduction, methods, results, and discussion. So this format guides the reader through the research process, explaining the problem, how it was studied, what was found, and the significance of those findings. It is widely used in natural and health sciences, uh, mostly to present original research in a clear, logical, and standardized way. And some of the essential components of the IMRA structure include one, the introduction. Here, the section sets the stage by introducing the research problem, justification, providing background information and context, and explaining why the research is important. It outlines the research question, objective, the hypothesis, and the overall objective of the study.
Then second, you have the methods, and here the paper details the experimental design and the procedures, which is the methods. It also explains how the study was conducted, providing enough information for other researchers to replicate the experiment. Then we also have third, the results section. And the results section present the data uh, and findings of the research without interpretation. Typically, it involves tables, figures, and statistical maybe analysis to show what was actually discovered. Then finally, we have the discussion. In the discussion section, uh, the result is interpreted, explaining their meaning and implication for such results. It also discusses how the findings relate to the original hypothesis and limitations of the study and potential areas for future research. Additionally, the discussion answers uh, the question, what does it mean? What is the implication of your finding? And here you can draw out your conclusions and present appropriate maybe recommendations. So additional ingredient on the IMRAD format is that you add the abstract, which briefly summarize the entire paper. And mostly uh, you have a word range of between 150 to 300 words allowed depending on the journal or postgraduate guidelines for your thesis or seminar paper. Then essentially after the abstracts you have keywords, maybe 4 to 6. In some instances it could be between 4 to 10 keywords or terms that help index and search for the paper. Then references, which is very important. You need to list all the sources cited in the paper, both in text and in the list of references. You have to ensure whatever reference in-text references is in the text must reflect in the list of references, as well as those reflected in the list of references must also be reflected in the text. Then you could also add appendices. That is where you provide supplementary materials that will disrupt the flow of the main text. So these are some of the essential ingredients of the IMRAD format. And now uh, we look at some of the uh, effective visuals in presenting your research findings.
So let's look at how to create some effective visual elements. As we all know, visual elements are essential for communicating complex data and findings in a clear, accessible format. And effective visual elements enhance understanding and engagement with your research. And let's take, for instance, table excellent for presenting precise numerical data for comparison or categorical information. Here you ensure to include clear headers, be consistent with formatting, and concise caption that explain the content. Then we have figures and uh, graphs. Here you select the appropriate chart type for your data. For instance, bar charts can be used for comparisons, then line graph for trends over time, pie charts for proportion, and scatter plots for relationship between variables. Then you could use other elements like figures and diagram For instance, use diagram, flowcharts, and illustrations to explain processes, models, or conceptual framework. You ensure they are clearly labeled and directly relevant to your research. Then maps and spatial data are also useful for displaying geographical data or disease distribution. Importantly, when creating visuals, ensure they are clear, concise, and self-explanatory. Label everything clearly and use appropriate scales and choose the right type of visual for your data. And also remember that a good visual can convey more information than pages of text. So there's need to be consistent when it comes to using the appropriate visual. And as much as possible, you try to maintain simplicity, avoid clustering visuals with unnecessary elements, use consistent formatting across all visuals elements in your paper, and try to provide clear labels and descriptive caption for all visuals. For instance, if we are using a table, the caption should be at the top. And if you have any further information to support the content, you capture it as a uh, footnote that is below. Then where you are using other visuals like graph, chart, figures, map, it's essential that the caption is captured under the figure or chart or map. Then I still also try to emphasize that you ensure that every visuals are self-explanatory and they can stand alone. So, so now after you have finished with the written component of your research, there's need to present your findings to the audience. And essentially, there are three ways that you could present your findings to the audience. It could be through oral presentation, could be through poster presentation, and it could be through the academic publishing process. So we take this one at a time. So for the oral presentation, there's need to uh, acquire some skills that will enable you deliver your research findings with confidence and concisely. And first, looking at the oral presentation, effectively presenting your research orally is crucial for sharing findings with peers at conferences and in academic settings. Uh, Master some of these key elements that will actually help you to deliver impactful research. And one of such is content organization, visual design, delivery style, time management, audience engagement, and your ability to handle question and answer effectively. So we take them one at a go. First, how do you structure your talk? You need to begin with a compelling introduction that states your research question, follow with a concise methodology, clear result, and end with meaningful conclusions and implications for your finding. Remember, a well-structured presentation should have a clear introduction, body, and conclusion. Then, secondly, you should know your audience. Try to adjust your technical language and depth based on audience expertise. Focus on relevance to their interests and provide appropriate context for specialized concepts. Ensure you tailor your content and language to your audience, and also put that what may resonate with fellow academics might differ from one community audience to another. Then three, visual support. Try to create clear, uncluttered slides with a consistent design. Use visuals strategically to enhance understanding and not to duplicate your spoken content. Visual support like your PowerPoint slide should complement your message and not replace it. Then use clear concise text, and impactful visuals. Finally, your delivery techniques are crucial. Maintain eye contact, speak clearly and at a moderate pace, use appropriate body language, and be ready to answer questions confidently and concisely. Practice on your timing. Remember that all this will entail effective presentation and engage your audience and leave a kind of lasting impression. Some of the do's and don'ts to enhance your oral presentation skill include one, for instance, you need to practice your presentation multiple times. Use engaging storytelling techniques and prepare for likely questions. And as much as possible, you try to avoid reading directly from your slides and try to avoid overloading your slide with text. Remember, it's a PowerPoint, not Power Note. And always respect time. Don't exceed the time limit given. All this will make your presentation effective and concise. So, other than oral presentation, scientific posters are a common way to present research findings at conferences and symposia. And effective poster design follows several principles. First, we have the layout and organization. The layout and organization should guide the viewer's eye logically, often in columns. You use clear logical flow, typically left to right, top to bottom. Then you need to also include sections for introduction, method, results, discussion, and references. Try to maintain sufficient white space to avoid visual cluster. Then secondly, we have the text and typography. The text and typography uh, needs to be legible from a distance. So choose clear fonts and appropriate sizes. Limit text to essential information. Use large readable fonts. For instance, you could use the 24 point plus for body text, then 72 point plus for title. Create a clear hierarchy with headings and subheadings, and always aim for between 800 to 1000 words maximum. Then we have the visual elements like charts and images. They should dominate the poster with minimal text, and it's essential that you use high quality images, charts, and graphs to communicate key findings. Also ensure visuals are large enough to be seen from at least 1 to 2 meters away. Include clear, informative captions for each visual element. Then finally, the color and design should be professional to enhance readability. Then avoid overly bright or clashing colors. Uh, Use a consistent, limited color palette, yeah, about 3 to 5 colors that enhances readability. Ensure sufficient contrast between text and background, and consider accessibility for colorblind viewers. Then remember, a poster should be able to tell your research story even if you are not there to explain it. It is a visual summary designed for quick comprehension and meaningful discussion of your findings. And here are some of the presentation tips. Please, you prepare a 1 to 2 minute elevator pitch summarizing your research. Then try to also bring handout with key findings and contact information. Position yourself to the side of your poster, not blocking the view, and be prepared to answer questions about methods and implications for your findings, just as presented in the image on the top right hand corner. So now let's look at the academic publishing processes. Uh, so I said earlier, aside the oral presentation, the poster presentation, The academic publishing process is one of the way to publish your research in academic journal, and is a critical step in contributing to scientific knowledge. And it typically involves 5 steps. First, you prepare your manuscript in line with the journal's guideline. You format your paper according to the journal guideline with proper IMRAD structure. That is the introduction, materials and method, result and discussion, and appropriate citations. Then second, you submit it to a suitable journal, and here you are required to select an appropriate journal in line with your field of study. Prepare a cover letter and submit through the journal's online system. Then third, the manuscript undergoes a peer review where experts in your field critically evaluate your work and will look at the work in terms of its scientific merit, methodology, and contribution to knowledge. And this typically takes between 1 to 3 months. Then in some close access, it might take up to 12 months. Then fourth, based on the reviewer's comment, uh, you either revise your manuscript addressing reviewers' comment and making all necessary improvement as suggested by the reviewers, and thereafter you prepare a response letter, point by point response letter to address each reviewer's comment, and you resubmit the revised manuscript. Then finally, if your manuscript is accepted, your manuscript will undergo some copy editing, typesetting, proofreading before finally the publication comes online. So the whole of this process is just to ensure the quality and validity of our published research, contributing to the collective body of scientific knowledge. And this is just a flowchart of the publishing tip. You do some internal. Once you submit, okay, you choose the journal with appropriate scope. Ensure your work is within the scope of the journal. Then either consider open access or subscription option. Then the editor will do initial checking, internal checks, we'll look at the suitability of progressing your journal to the reviewer phase. And after peer review, you are required to revise your submission and resubmit with another cover letter. Then it undergoes a subsequent peer review. Then based on the reviewers are okay with the corrections and convincing feedback, they may suggest whether the paper is fit for publication, and the editor will give a kind of preliminary acceptance. Then based on the preliminary acceptance, then a galley proof will be sent for you to effect other necessary correction, author's name, and to ensure everything is correct, then before formal acceptance and publication and online. So these are the various processes just to ensure the quality and validity of published research is so in summary for module 4, some of the 5 key takeaways include one, effective scientific writing, following clear principles of clarity, precision, and organization. Secondly, we are able to understand the IMRAD structure that provide a structure or a framework approach to organizing your research paper. Then the use of visual elements like table, figures, charts, maps to enhance understanding, and how it can be designed with clarity and purpose. Then we're able to look at some of the communication skills in terms of oral and poster presentation that require specific skills to effectively communicate your research. And also, we're able to explore the art and skill of presenting or understanding the publishing processes that helps navigate the journey from manuscript to publication. Uh, so, generally, in summary, from module 1 to 5, let's look at a recap of all that we have learned for the whole of the course 882. So now let's take a moment to summarize our journey throughout the 4 modules. So in module 1, the research study, we focus on formulating research topics, questions, and the SMART objective. And in module 2, we focus on literature review and how to equip you with the skills to find, evaluate, and synthesize credible sources. Alright, in module 3, which is the research method, we dive into study designs, sampling techniques, data collection, data analysis, and ethics. And finally, in module 4, we have given more insight on communication of research findings, taught you scientific writing, visual communication, and presentation skills. So this course has progressively built your competency in research formulation and literature review, methodology, data analysis, and communication. And this has further prepared you for your final seminar projects and other projects that may come before you graduate from the program. So now for your next step and the final assignment, even though I've started receiving some submission, I still want to emphasize that the deadline is on 5th July, and I hope all team members work together to ensure that they meet up with the deadline. Then remember, I gave all the scoring guidelines regarding the seminar assignment, the grading breakdown, and the final presentation. So the oral presentation day will be communicated soon, and for your oral presentation, it's expected that there will be 15 minutes for you to present, then followed 10 to 15 minutes for presentation, followed by a 5-minute question and answer, then using at least 10 to 12 slides with clear visuals. Like I said earlier, that try to submit both the manuscript and the PPT. Though somebody complained earlier that it's difficult to upload the PowerPoint except when converted to PDF. So I said for the PowerPoint, you can send it via my WhatsApp private. WhatsApp me the PowerPoint. But as for the manuscript submission, you ensure that you follow strictly the instruction given. That is, ML's Word document should be uploaded by group leaders. Strictly adhere to the instruction. Yes. So with this, we have come to the end of this course, and I look forward to seeing your insightful work and submission. If you have any further clarification, don't hesitate to send me email or communicate with me via the private WhatsApp. So I look forward to seeing more questions coming and inside. Thank you.